New York nagyon kilóg az on the spot helyszínek közül. Nyilván össze sem lehet hasonlítani Kabullal, La Pazzal, Gázával. Bár most, hogy Gázát mondom, volt ott egy újságíró lány a legelső filmünkben, amit Gázában forgattunk, aki ösztöndíjjal New Yorkba került, és évekig ott élt, aztán úgy döntött, hogy felrúgja az amerikai életét, és hazamegy New Yorkból Gázába. Úgyhogy mégis van olyan ember, aki össze tudja vetni a két várost.
My very first meeting with an Israeli guy was my first day of school in New York during orientation. That was my first experience talking to an Israeli who was a civilian and who wasn't in soldier's clothes. It happened by accident. I was talking to a Colombian guy and he's like, oh, well, you're Palestinian. Look, there's an Israeli guy. And so I just walked up to him and said, hi, I'm Safa, I'm from Gaza. And he's like, hi, I'm Adiel, I'm from Israel. And from Jerusalem, actually. And we sat down for about 4 or 5 hours that day. If I had met this man in Palestine or in Israel, I would not have been able to have the type of conversation that I had with him abroad. Because in Palestine we're enemies. In the US we could be friends.
Minden esetre New Yorknek nem így jött a képbe, hanem ugye itt Európában az utóbbi időben egyre több jelét lehetett látni annak a norvégiai tömeggyilkosságtól kezdve a párizsi autóborogatásokig, hogy a különböző etnikumok, kultúrák együttélése finoman szólva nem feszültségmentes. Ezért aztán az európai politikusok átalakítják a bevándorlási politikájukat, és sokan a multikulti végét jósolják.
New York meg legalábbis egyelőre a multikulti mintavárosa, a mintametropolis. Legalábbis így él a fejünkben, és meg akartuk nézni, hogy ott hogyan tudnak együtt vagy egymás mellett élni. Kínaiak, zsidók, arabok, feketék, mindenki, és erről szól a film.
Ma este a helyszín nem egy frontvonal vagy egy diktatúra, hanem New York.
Állítólag ez a város a multikulti mintametropolisza, mert itt békében él együtt fehér, fekete és a kettő közt mindenki.
Egy kínai, amerikai, egy ortodox zsidó és egy muzulmán imám életén keresztül próbáljuk megérteni, hogy hogyan és miért tudnak együtt élni.
Márha tényleg ilyen rózsás a helyzet.
Imák, kultúrák és sztereotípiák találkozása ma este az On the Spotban, New Yorkból.
Európában mintha egyre nagyobb feszültséget okozna a különböző kultúrák és etnikumok együttélése. Sokan azt jósolják, hogy véget ér a multikulti, mert a párizsi autógyújtogatásoktól a norvégiai tömeggyilkosságig sorra jönnek a jelek, hogy nem tudunk együtt élni.
New York még mindig azt üzeni, hogy igenis tudunk. 10 évvel a szeptember 11-i terrortámadások után is. Ezt akarjuk megnézni kicsit közelebbről.
Az időeltolódás miatt jetlegesen kóvájgunk a Manhattani éjszakában. Most épp a Union Square-re érkezünk.
Tu presencia de bacana puso calor en mi nido. Fuiste buena consecuente y yo sé que me has querido. Como no quisiste a nadie, como no podrás querer. Se dio el juego de remanche cuando vos, pobre percanta, gambeteabas la pobreza en la casa de pensión. Hoy sos toda una bacana, la vida te ríe y canta. Los morlacos del otario lo jugás a la marchanta.
Ezeket a képeket már nyilván mindenki ezerszer látta, hogy Manhattanben a világ közepén a felhőkarcolók között együtt rohan a tömegben mindenki, bőrszíntől, vallástól, nemzetiségtől függetlenül.
Ez mind gyönyörűen hangzik, csak hogy Manhattan nem túlságosan mérvadó. Kevesebben élnek itt, mint Budapesten. New York Cityben már majdnem annyi ember lakik, mint Magyarországon.
Ahogy mondani szokták, New York nem Amerika, hanem egy külön sziget az Egyesült Államokban. Na ugyanígy Manhattan is csak egy kis szelete New Yorknak.
Mindjárt találkozunk New York állam volt kormányzójával, George Patakival, mert ha valaki, ő sokat tudhat a multikultiról. Az interjúig még van egy óránk, az alatt bőven kiérünk Queensbe, ami már semmiben sem hasonlít New York belvárosához.
Ez az iskola a latin, az indiai és a pakisztáni negyed találkozásánál van. Úgyhogy először kapkodjuk a fejünket, hogy melyik gyerek honnan való, aztán feladjuk.
De ez ugyancsak kivétel. Sok iskolába csak az adott környék gyerekei járnak, és simán felnőhetnek úgy, hogy csak ugyanolyan színű vagy vallású emberekkel találkoznak, mint ők maguk.
Yeah, they behave, they have to.
What?
I'm Christian.
Are you Christian?
Yeah.
And you? Chris.
Yeah, you gotta,
Okay, nice meeting you guys.
you can go inside the bus. Do you want to film the guys?
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Hello.
They're gonna film you guys.
Can you tell me where are you from? Who is from where?
My name is Rihanna and I'm from Dominican Republic and Ecuador.
And you?
My name is Michelle and I'm from Colombia.
Colombia. And you?
My name is Christopher and I'm from Colombia too.
Okay, and you?
Oh, yeah. I'm Christian Castro and I come from Italy.
What about you guys?
Oh my God,
Where are you from?
Speak up.
Where are you from?
Ecuador.
Ecuador. And you?
Ecuador.
A Rockefeller Center 32. emeletén várakozunk a magyar származású George Patakira, aki 1994-től 2006-ig volt New York állam kormányzója. Jó reggelt!
Minden rendben? Eszter.
Nice to meet you. Would like to ask you a little bit about multiculturalism.
Sure.
To compare a little bit the European setting and the American setting. I think we need some advice.
Well, I think a lot of it depends on why people come to the country. And in the United States, people have come to the country because they want to become Americans. They adopt the culture, they adopt the language, they adopt the customs, and over time they are assimilated and fit in. It's what
Still now?
still now, and it's what
Mexican workers that
absolutely
come because they want to be American?
they want to build a better life for their family and become a part of the American dream. And what is interesting here in New York, we have almost 1 million Puerto Ricans. Right. I speak Spanish better than most of the Puerto Ricans because they have lost their Spanish over 2 or 3 generations. But they all participate in the broader society. The vast majority go to public schools. The vast majority of the children are learning English and becoming Yankee baseball fans and things like that.
So which way?
I think you're going this way.
Let's go. I'll follow you.
Az olasz és a kínai negyed határán találkozunk ezzel a kínai lánnyal. Jen Kwok egyike azoknak, akikről George Pataki beszélt. Már ide született, itt járt iskolába, és az anyanyelve az angol.
Some Asians, I think, do recognize me as like a fellow Asian, and then other people, especially if they're more recent immigrants, call us ABCs, which is American-born Chinese, and it's almost, in some ways, depending on who you talk to, it's almost an insult. Because, you know, we've been whitewashed. I mean, white is for the white man, you know, so being kind of having their influence on you. And then there's another couple of terms. One is banana. So you're yellow on the outside, but you're white on the inside. You appear to be Chinese or Japanese or whatever type of Asian. On the inside, you're white. You eat cheese, you eat hamburgers, you know, you're not allergic to alcohol.
Jen Kwok stand-up komedis és énekes. Épp egy washingtoni fellépésére indul. Hamar kibukott belőle, hogy nem csak az ázsiaiaknak nem elég ázsiai, hanem az amerikaiaknak sem mindig elég amerikai.
There was a time, I think, in elementary school, right when we started liking boys, and you know, some of the girls were saying, "Oh, you know, which teen boy celebrity would you want to marry?" And we all went around the circle, and everybody said Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I don't know if you know him. He was the voice of the Lion King, but everyone thought he was so handsome and cute. And so everyone said they wanted to marry Jonathan Taylor Thomas, and I also said that I wanted to marry him. And I remember one girl just said, "You can't marry Jonathan Taylor Thomas." And everyone was just like, "Why?" And I kind of knew why. And she was like, "Because you're Asian." And so even I think we were like 9, 10 years old, it was already, you know, that was the thinking, you know, that she grew up with. And honestly, for me, I mean, I didn't have any, you know, other teen idols. You know, there were no Asian teen idols. Even now there aren't. So who else would I marry?
Really?
Yeah.
You're not one of them?
I guess maybe I am now. I think I'm a little old to be a teen idol, but but I think
boys.
Well, that's another thing, is I think that Asian women are often like fetishized or, you know, objectified as being, you know, I don't know, sexual objects.
Rates in New Jersey is next.
You know, just the idea of, you know, we're like freaky in bed, or, you know, like very subservient. It actually really pisses me off.
Hey there, my name is Jung Kwok, and I'm here to tell you that dating Asians rocks. They have smooth skin and silky hair, so damn exotic, got that ethnic flair. So sweet and gentle, smell so good. So freaky nasty, do what you always wanted to. So obedient, they'll please you like no one can. That's right, I'm talking about an Asian man. Everyone should date an Asian man. Don't gotta be serious, just fucking Asian man. At least find one, at least find.
So yeah, so in 2000, it was 4.3% and 12 million people who were at least part Asian. And now in 2011, it's 5%, so it went up 7%. And now it's about 17 million people. So it's like 5 million more people.
How did you do that?
How did we do that? I think we fucked as much as possible.
Nayar imám a New York-i Long Islanden él. 30 évvel ezelőtt a szülei Pakisztánból ide küldték, hogy patikusnak tanuljon. Ma a helyi muzulmán közösség egyik vezetője.
I look 5 years younger. See, that's what I come to a mean. He makes me 10 years younger when I leave the shop.
You say it was?
You see?
You say it was?
You see?
You have training FBI case or?
No. CIA spying on New York, on Muslims in New York. CIA. It's in the newspaper. Look at the New York Times, the Newsday today. They all are talking about it.
What did the hairdresser ask you?
Yeah, you are just saying that this guy is not from any government agency, not from some crazy government agency. I said, no, he's from Hungary and making a documentary, basically, that's it. In Oklahoma bombing, when Timothy McVeigh blew up the whole building and 168 people died. Nobody ever till today talked about his religion. He was Timothy McVeigh. He blew up the building. He was born and raised in this country. He have served the army and all those. But if, God forbid, if it's the same thing as done by somebody's name Muhammad or Ali, they would have attacked, they will have told Americans the first thing that a Muslim terrorist came to this country. So that's a perfect example I can give you.
But if 9/11 hadn't happened, they wouldn't have a basis.
That's for sure. They add fuel to the fire. And 9/11, don't forget that anybody who was involved in 9/11 was not an American. They all came from outside the country. That's a big difference. So that's what I always say, the people who are living here, who are raising their families here, they are establishing their businesses here, they are getting education here, they will never go against America. I was the president of this mosque when the guy got arrested in Afghanistan. And a Spanish guy, he was coming to this mosque, was converted to Islam, and he Was a very strange person. He disappeared for a long time, and next thing you know that he was in Afghanistan fighting against us in Afghanistan.
You mean us?
Americans. We had no idea that he was going to do this kind of crazy thing, and he did.
He became a Taliban? Or?
He became a Taliban. He became a Taliban. It's not a normal story. 1 in 10 billion, maybe one person like that.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
Rolling, 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 roll high. Rolling, 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 roll high. In every fiber of my body, I am Jewish. There's no question about that. And that's first and foremost in my mind. It's been drummed into me since I was a kid how special the United States is and how wonderful it is to live in the United States. First of all, for a very simple reason, the United States is an immigrant society. We have been integrating immigrants for hundreds of years, and Europe is not an immigrant society, as far as I can tell. Now here, of particular interest to people in Hungary, this word, mi Satmar, from Satmar. Take a look at that store over there.
Hungarian kosher cuisine.
There you go.
Budapest?
Yeah.
What you remember?
Yeah. And you?
Hajdu beszélmény.
Hajdu beszélmény.
Hajdu nános. Hajdu szavaz.
Sha'arim kahal ungvar.
Ungvar?
Ungvar. Rings a bell to you?
Yeah.
Okay. I can tell you where my father came from. My father was born in a small town called Boldvar, near Miskolc. The majority of people here in Borough Park have parents or grandparents or great-grandparents that were born in Hungary.
Doe je s'avonds voor de mensen? Doe je s'avonds voor de mensen?
The what?
Doe je s'avonds?
No, that's his show.
He wants to show.
That's his show.
Okay, we live in Hollywood.
Shabbos.
All right. Shabbos.
Isaac közgazdász, de ahogy New Yorkban szinte mindenkinek, neki is több állása van. Most épp egy filmforgatást felügyel, ahol az egyik színész régi barátja. Valaha ő is ortodox volt, aztán elhagyta a vallást. Most pont erről vitatkoznak.
What is Pesach? What is the Seder all about? To me, the Seder is all about reimagining who you are. Is individuality, is freedom, is liberty to express yourself.
But it doesn't happen. It's a good philosophy.
No, so,
you know what happens Pesach in my house? Let me tell you.
But
if I gave one smile on Pesach, my father threw me out of the Seder. So you know why? Because it's not about taking individual back. It's about telling us that this is what everybody's a melech, everybody has to be leaned on. So it's just words. It doesn't mean...
His religion is not religion. He's just folklore and superstition.
That's exactly what's happening.
And that's a problem. So it's not so much a problem with individuality. It's a problem with what is religion and how it's transmitted, how it's taught. That's the problem.
My job as trying to be a filmmaker is to really find out the insight, to really find the problems and show it. It's not to show it to the world, it's showing to the people who really want to know what's going on. Like a kid, as my brother, who's 17 and he's leaving and he wants to know what he's supposed to do. He can see what happened to other people who left. Why someone committed suicide, why someone died, why someone took too much drugs, why everything happened.
Isaac, have you ever thought of stepping out?
It's a constant battle. It's not so much a question of stepping out as it is a question of constantly and always reevaluating one's world around them. You know, is there truth? Is there a truth? Are there many truths? What's the truth that I should live with? Is there a God? Isn't there a God? If there is a God, did he ever give us an instruction booklet? If he gave us an instruction booklet, is it the one that we have today? If it's the one that we have today, is it the only one? So of course, every day is another battle. Every day is another battle.
Okay, but were you close to it?
I'm a wuss.
Say you're wuss and you say you're kappa.
You have a mission. You have a purpose. Serve God. That's it. Whether you like to, you don't, whether it makes you happy, it doesn't make you happy. And if you don't, you're not serving your purpose. What will happen, that's another story.
Can I ask you later what happened when you stepped down?
When I stepped out?
We stepped into mud.
Yeah.
Sorry. This is all this. Sorry, you have to be inside.
Okay, that's it. Capitalism comes to the discussion.
My pharmacy, which I own and I work as a pharmacist. Here you go, done. Here you are. You see Andres?
Not on camera. Absolutely not.
No, not on camera. They don't want cameras, you see.
Every time somebody comes in here with a camera, he's got to put me on.
You are the face of this pharmacy.
So honnan hol laksz te Magyarországon?
Beszél magyarul.
Oh yeah?
Te vagy az egyetlen nem muzulmán a gyógyszertárban? Igen? És milyen muszlimokkal dolgozni?
Strange.
Tényleg?
Yeah.
Miért?
Hát mert I guess a religion az annyira different, mint a katolikus, hogy...
Vallásos vagy? Vallásos vagy?
Igen, de nem szuper vallásos.
Ők igen?
Ők igen. Ők nagyon. Mennek a máskba, a szomszédaim mennek a szinagógba, én meg akkor a churchbe, it's fine.
Mikor hallottál először a muzulmánokról? Emlékszel?
Akkor, amikor idejöttem. Előtte, amikor a 9/11 volt, akkor volt az első előtte. Nem is tudtam, hogy ezek vannak itt. Még mindig mondják nekem ők, hogy azok az emberek, akik azt csinálták, hogy azok nem ők. Hogy a legtöbbi muzulmán az nem olyan, hogy azok csak nagyon radikalok. De hogy még az agyam hátában bent van-e, hogy I don't know, az egy kicsit, I don't know.
A patikus nő valószínűleg sosem jönne el ide, de talán nem is hívják. Minden esetre ezen a kerti partin, ahová Nayar imám magával vitt minket, mi voltunk az egyedüli nem muzulmánok.
In this part of the world, there is a lot of distraction, for especially a youth who's trying to make it. Distraction, what do I mean by distraction? The nightlife, the girls, the fast life, and the clubs, and the gambling, which things take you away from your mission. Mission meaning doing right and obeying your creator.
But are your Christian friends are so stick to their religion as you?
No. What I see as my point of view, majority, say out of 100% of the Christians that I met, I think maybe 95% don't even practice their religion.
What's the reason of that?
They have a belief in their heart that Jesus died for their sins. So they may be thinking that, okay, we do whatever we want, and at the end of time, when we're about to die or whatever the case is, we say, Jesus, forgive us, and they go into paradise. For us, we have to struggle for paradise, okay? The bigger the test, the bigger the reward.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
Ezt az imámot a helyi közösség hívta ide Pakisztánból, hogy az egyik mecsetet vezesse, és az Amerikában felnövő muzulmán gyerekek megtartsák a hitüket.
Here in the United States and any other place, the Jews are and also Christian, they not follow the perfect religion, not follow the book, not follow the Bible perfectly. And similarly in the Jewish also. So the Muslim, those they follow the perfectly religious, their generation is also go to the directly, and they have no any problem. If their parents is miss some things, so the also new generation is follow the parents. So there is the problem.
Mindjárt kezdődik az ázsiai tehetségkutató verseny. Szerte az országban megrendezik, hogy az ázsiai amerikaiakat ne csak a halászokkal és a matematikusokkal azonosítsák, hanem az emberek lássák, hogy belőlük is lehet vagy lehetne meg a sztár. Jen lesz a konferencié.
People talk a lot about this kind of, they call it a bamboo ceiling.
What is that?
Well, there's a glass ceiling, which is basically, can also apply, I think, to women, that we don't reach a certain level of success because of our gender. So that's the glass ceiling. And then the bamboo ceiling is we don't reach a certain level of success because we're Asian. So, for example, a lot of companies, Asians are high-level or managers, but they don't eventually become a CEO or the executive at the very top. I think in comedy, you know, you may get booked on a show because they want to appear diverse. So there's this kind of like, what's it called? Affirmative action. So they're like, okay, we don't want this show to be a bunch of Jewish white guys, so we need a black woman, or we need a black guy, or we need an Asian chick. So in and I'm the Asian, no, I'm the black guy. He's funny too.
No, yes.
No matter what, you have to be very confident in what you're doing. And to be honest, I think that a lot of women in all countries are not taught to have confidence because we're shown these magazines and we have to look a certain way. And for me, someone who's of an ethnic minority, I'll never have blonde hair and blue eyes. I mean, I can try and I'll look like a whore, but, you know, it's this standard, this impossible standard that we're never going to hit. And how can you feel good about yourself if you think that you're supposed to be this thing that you're never going to be? I mean, they say the Danes are the happiest people in the world because they have the lowest expectations. You know, there was a survey in the world, you know, saying who are the happiest or who. I don't know who's the saddest.
Hungarians.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Hungarians, why are you so sad? Don't be upset, life is not that bad. Don't you guys have a beautiful city named Budapest? Well, I'm telling you, just keep thinking that you are definitely the best. Hungary, why are you so hungry for something better? 'Cause Hungary, what you've got's what matters. It's what matters. Smile, Hungary.
Collaboration, nailed it, didn't win, but collaboration is a nice gamble, so I'm back here again hosting in DC, so I'm very excited. Please continue to conversate, maybe go on a few more of these friend dates, 'cause finding out all the ways you can relate is blowing my heart away.
Chip bag after 3 donuts and 2 brownies.
healthy night.
I'm exhausted. I just had 8 chocolate chip muffins. I'm actually craving more.
How is it being Asian American and eating this American terrible food?
It's not so bad. This also shows how hungry I am.
I'm totally liking
It's good to be hungry, children. Eat.
I just liked
but
your
not too much.
Facebook page. I just liked it.
Eat your veggies. They taste better with cheese.
You made of me. I followed the voice you thought you gave to me.
I don't want to be free. You're gonna love me.
Kids to just jump up spontaneously and say, hey, I have talent and I'm ready to get on stage and show it. I think that's something that's very American, to show your individuality and not have any hesitation. So I'm actually extremely proud that these guys were able to do that. Yeah.
Ez a fiatal kókuszdiónak a vize, ami nagyon üdítő, és Ázsiában ezt nagyon sokat isszák, és itt New Yorkban, Chinatownban is meg lehet találni, de mindent meg lehet találni, amit otthon náluk Kínában, vagy más ázsiai országokban.
Ez komoly.
Aha.
Hát ezek a kínaiak.
Kínaiak mindent megesznek, olyan állatokat is, amiket mi csak szépnek találunk. What do you do with the turtles?
I have no idea. Kérdezd meg. Az oknyomozás indul.
What do you make out of this? But do you make a soup out of it? Soup, turtle soup. Teknősbékaleves. Ez lett, ez a kis csomag hús lett abból a hatalmas gyönyörű teknősbékről.
Don't long as around, say baby I love you. It was nice. You acting kind of shady. They're calling me baby. My baby that black, you know I'm so old that you.
I would call, you would say, baby, how's your day? But today, it ain't the same. Every other word is a you're okay. Could it be that you are at the crib with another lady?
One of my friends actually has done something where she basically delivers babies from America to China. So a lot of the newer immigrants work in restaurants, and it's a lot of long hours and hard hours. So when they have children, they don't have time to take care of them. So they literally will hire young women like me to bring the baby on a plane, you know, and give them $2,000 or something, and basically give them a free trip to China so that they can deliver the baby to the grandparents, and the children will be raised in China. So it's cheaper, so that the parents can continue working in the restaurant and send money back.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I think it's actually a little bit like, you know, throwing the baby out with the bathwater is like an American saying where you're trying to create a better living, but for who? Aren't you trying to create a better living for your next generation? And so to do that, you're saying that there's a value on money that is going to allow them to have a good living rather than a connection with you. So I think it's just a difference in values.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that some of my friends whose parents kind of have that perspective, they do feel like they've grown up, you know, not feeling very bonded with their parents.
Mm-hmm.
They feel like they do.
Emotions were not that important.
No, emotions were not that important. You know, I gotta be honest, I was talking to a kind of therapist the other day, and we got to the core of it, and I realized, you know, when I was younger, I don't think I got hugged a lot. But I still know that, you know, even though my parents may not have, you know, just been, you know, kissing me on the forehead all day long, I know
how deeply they love me. It's so deep.
New York is the financial capital of the United States, maybe of the world. Jews are very much represented in the financial industry, in the publishing industry, in the entertainment industry. Not that it's exclusively Jewish. Nobody less than Jesse Jackson, I believe, called it Town. A little bit pejoratively, it's been called Jew York City as well. Again, pejorative phrases, no doubt. New York is a wonderful melting pot and also a wonderful mosaic. It's a contradiction in a certain way, whereas a melting pot means you come all together and lose your individual identity or individual communal identity. A mosaic preserves that and respects that and in fact even adores that. So yes, it's both. We maintain our individuality, and you'll have a Chinatown, and you'll have Bensonhurst, you'll have a Little Italy, you'll have Harlem, and each one will maintain their community whilst at the same time becoming New Yorkers and becoming Americans. It doesn't have to be a contradiction in terms. Anyway, the people that one will marry will almost always be within a 10-block or 15-block radius of where they live. If they have a strong communal identity, whether it's Hispanic, whether it's African American, Italian.
And what about your family?
What about them?
Do you live together with your family?
I live together with an extended family, yes.
Are you married?
I am not, no. I am not married.
Why aren't you married?
It's a good question. For that, I don't think we need a bench. I think you need to have a pipe in your hand, and I have to be on a couch, and you have to be taking notes.
Really?
Well, then it's somewhat you have to be the psychologist analyzing why. So tell me, why are you not married? I don't know now you're really putting me on the spot. It's so family-oriented. If you mean how do they view me being that I'm not married, some people find it rather strange, and some people find it rather sad. If I would be in the Hasidic community, I would be nearly an outcast, because they just don't have a place for single men or single women, for sure.
House. Morning. When people ask me to go home, I think to go to Mount Sinai. That's my home. That's what I always consider, and that's what I always think, that it's home. We have buried our parents in this land. My parents were died in America. They have their graves here. How am I going to go from here? I said, my children were born here. All of the children were born here. They are going to school and colleges. That's my country. This is the country of immigrants. I'm just like anybody else. The only difference, me and the people who are here from 3, 4, 5 generations before, they are 5th generation immigrant, and I'm 4th generation immigrant after them.
You don't pray?
Oh, I already prayed before when I came home from school.
I understand. I understand.
5 times a day.
Yeah.
And what else for this?
I usually just I read after school, so I don't like forget as the day goes on. And then the next prayer is like it's 4 right now, so the next prayer should be like in an hour. And then I'll read that.
When I graduated from LIU, my pharmacy degree.
He was a good-looking man.
Yeah. Look what she did to me.
Yeah.
Look what she did to me. But if you look her pictures, she was so good looking. You want to see her old picture? Can you see her? Look at her. Wow, that is she. That's the girl I married. Look what happened to her. I came in 1982 alone, and then my wife was in Canada. She was doing her education there. And then she went back from Canada, I went back from here, and then we got married in Pakistan.
So you went back to Pakistan to marry?
To marry, but we didn't know each other before we got married. It was an arranged marriage.
Really?
Yeah.
How is that? Tell me about that.
That will shock you. I saw my wife after I got married with her. I didn't see her, I didn't meet her. She didn't meet with me. We just married.
After 8 years in the US, how come that you agreed to have an arranged marriage?
Oh, that's the best thing.
Tell me why.
Because who knows better than you, than your parents? They can pick better, they can do better. And look at this, it's now 22. What? 98, 2008, 24 years.
What do you think about love?
When you get married with somebody and you have obligation and you know each other, you love each other, you know each other, you live together, you have children. The divorce rate in arranged marriage is much lesser than in the marriage which people live together and know each other before the marriage.
And you will arrange the marriage of your children?
I will at least try to put my 2 cents in there. After that, they can choose their spouses, but I will like to have my share of opinion will be in there. In other words, I will not use word approval, but at least we should be on the same page. This is my wish, but I mean, this is America. They can do whatever they want. That's it.
Okay, I will ask him.
You can ask him. Let's see what he says. That will be a good question.
Okay, you can ask him.
I can ask him. Okay, Asfar, you are in trouble now. So he's saying that, will you be married like that? I say, you can ask him, he will answer. I will prefer to have my input in their marriage, but...
I don't know, yeah, I'm only 16, I still have a long time before I get married.
Where's the entrance? That is a good question. Now we can jump over fences. I'm sure you're physically fit. What wouldn't we do for the Hungarian public? When I was a kid, I remember, people just walking over to me and knocking my hat off and spitting at me from time to time.
In Brooklyn?
In Brooklyn, yeah.
What kind of kids?
Oh, a neighborhood kid, from another neighborhood or what have you, if I was walking to school. The community is not religiously racist, it's somewhat culturally racist. If somebody were to be comfortable and confident in his own religion, which means he's not necessarily worried about the influences of the outside corrupting him, then he can live a very productive, religious, rich, peaceful life, more so in the United States as an American than somewhere else. Okay, so I'm going to interview him soon. How do you tell which way is Mecca?
I've been doing it so long that I can look at the sun and tell
which way it is. And you do it by the fire. If you would have to say, what is my identity? Do you find that they're mutually exclusive, being American and being a Muslim?
No. I'm Muslim. It doesn't matter where I'm from. A Muslim is a Muslim. You could be from Antarctica. A Muslim is a Muslim, doesn't matter.
Yes. But do you consider yourself an American as well?
Yes, yes.
Of course.
Yes, of course. I was born here.
Right.
Yeah.
And you don't find that the two of them conflict?
No, I don't.
As a Jew, I don't find that they conflict either.
I don't think I want to live anywhere else.
Why is that?
This is America, you know what I mean?
Land of the free, home of the brave.
Home of the brave, that's right.
Yes,
Let me get my glasses before you break them, and they cost a lot of money, I'm sorry.
But he looks good in them.
Yeah, I know he does. All right, what would you say? I'm sorry.
A lot of people are agitating for Sharia courts. You would be comfortable in the United States having Sharia courts?
Sure.
Superseding American legal system?
Yes, because I'm a religious man.
Okay, I personally, and this doesn't have to do with you, I personally would be uncomfortable if Jewish law would be applied generally.
Okay,
I'd also be uncomfortable if Sharia law would be applied universally. For instance, honor killing.
Honor killing, what do you mean?
If a woman is, let's say, God forbid, raped by somebody,
right,
the father or brother of that poor young lady will kill her.
No, that's Arab culture. That's not Islam.
But it's countenanced within Islam.
But it's not Islam. If you read in the Quran, you'll never find that. You can't kill. You can't kill it unless it's in battle.
How has the events of September 11th, 2001, how has it affected you?
It hasn't impacted me at all. You know, because my thing is that I worship Allah, and that's it. You know, and what people do, they do. You know, they got to answer for that. You understand? However it may be.
Okay, but were you treated differently after 9/11?
Some people, yeah. Yeah, they were. Yeah. As a matter of fact, on the train, sometimes people don't want to sit next to me when I went in my car. You know, I get that. Sure you can. Sure.
What?
Johnny, come sit down.
I'll tell you one thing what happened to me quickly is that I, as a Jew, felt afraid that people are going to say, the Muslims did it because of you. So I was fearful, and I said, oh my God, it's going to somehow boomerang onto Jews.
You think so?
Yes, that's what I felt. Fear doesn't necessarily have to be logical. So you're right, maybe it doesn't make sense, but that's what I felt.
I gotta go.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Please. Thank you so much.
Nem tudunk még egy országot, ahol egy zsidó és egy muszlim szabadon vitatkozhatna a vallásról az utca közepén.
De ez az összejövetel is teljesen kizárt a világ legtöbb országában. Zsidók, keresztények és muszlimok együtt emlékeznek szeptember 11-ére.
But from the very beginning after 9/11, we came to understand that the only way to appreciate each other and to live with each other is to know each other.
So 9/11 started the relationship between Muslims?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
How come?
Well, because certainly after the attack by members of the Islamic community, there were a lot of negative feelings toward Muslims. And they came to understand, you know something, we just can't stand in the background. We have to come out and be a part of the communities that we live in.
They were afraid.
9/11 changed their life, because before that they were Americans going to work, going to school, doing their thing every day, and that day changed their lives forever, because all of a sudden people looked at them as being different. And Naya and I have done many programs together and really consider ourselves to be friends and co-workers in this area.
I told you that we go to schools and talk to the children. Me and him goes to school and talk to children about how we are friends and how we live here together.
Tishbechata v'nechamata damiran v'yalma v'meru amen.
Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses,
those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. من أجل ذلك كتبنا على بني إسرائيل أنه من قتل نفسا بغير نفس
Everyone get close to somebody. Hold someone's hand. Get closer.